Final passage of a massive public works bill Friday provided President Joe Biden what had increasingly seemed like a vanishing ideal, a major bipartisan accomplishment that has the power to improve the lives of millions of Americans. The vote came after weeks of torturous negotiations among Democrats and is likely to remain the only major piece of legislation Biden passes with help from Republicans ahead of next year's midterm elections. A second, larger bill that would expand the social safety net and provide historic investments in combating climate change remains undone. Yet after a string of setbacks and delays, including in the frenzied final hours before the bill passed, Biden emerged having accomplished what many had written off as impossible in a political era marred by dysfunction and mistrust. The bill represents the largest single infrastructure investment in American history. Tonight, we took a monumental step forward as a nation, Biden said in a statement that touted what he called the once-in-generation bipartisan infrastructure bill and praised his larger economic package, known as the Build Back Better Act, which has not yet been voted on by the House. I look forward to signing both of these bills into law, he said. For the president, the experience has proved both frustrating and illuminating, as he discovers just how fractious the current environment really is. People who have spoken to him over the past days describe Biden as focused and jocular, but also confused at Democrats' seeming inability to strike an agreement on what is ostensibly a widely popular agenda. Until nearly the last minute Friday, it appeared as if internal Democratic divisions would again deprive the president of a bipartisan infrastructure bill to sign into law, despite an intensive, late-night effort from Biden and his aides to finally bring members of his party around. What ultimately worked was the intensive brokering of an agreement between warring wings of the party, ending a blockade by progressives in exchange for a commitment in writing from moderates to support the larger plan no later than the middle of this month. After dire election results Tuesday caused a flurry of recrimination among Democrats, Friday amounted to a dramatic turnabout of fortunes for a president desperately in need of a win. It was not the first time Biden's party appeared on the cusp of passing the two historic pieces of legislation. Past attempts repeatedly caught in new snags. The president has been described by aides as being in closing mode for weeks, even as the talks stretched on. Throughout the process, Biden had mostly avoided telling Democrats exactly when and how to vote on the pair of sweeping bills that comprise almost the entirety of his domestic agenda. But on Friday morning, with his party still reeling from dismal election results 3 days earlier and questions swirling about his ability to deliver on a lofty set of campaign promises, Biden changed course. For the first time, he told Democrats explicitly it was time to vote right now on the two spending bills, a step some of his allies wished he'd taken earlier. Declining to take questions after an appearance in the state dining room, he retreated behind closed doors to dial Democrats to get them in line and to deliver the same message. Let's show the world that America's democracy can deliver and propel our economy forward, and let's get this done, he said in the state dining room in an urgent bout of calls, placed first from the Oval Office and later from the private third-floor White House residence. Biden on Friday sought to keep a fragile arrangement from collapsing. He scrapped his plans to leave Friday evening for his seaside home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, opting to remain at the White House. He spoke at regular intervals with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who spent the evening constantly consulting printed-out lists of members and their positions, while communicating with fellow Democrats. White House senior staff remained abreast of who Pelosi was trying to pick off, ready to launch bespoke lobbying efforts from the president if they saw an opening. "Welcome to my world. This is the Democratic Party," Pelosi told reporters as the night wore on, alluding to his speaker's secret whip count as rationale for her optimism. Thanks for watching. Leave comments below. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.